If the universe as we know it started with the Big Bang, will it also have an end? And if it's going to end someday, how? There are four main ideas about the future of our universe: the Big Rip, the Big Crunch, the Big Freeze, and vacuum decay. All of these ideas come from our understanding of how the universe is evolving, and that's where we find the clues for how it could end. So here's what scientists know. The universe is expanding, and that expansion is happening faster and faster. Scientists think this is caused by a mysterious force called dark energy. Think of it as the universe's invisible pump, stretching space. So what would happen if this mysterious force keeps creating new space? Let's start with the Big Freeze. If the universe keeps accelerating in its expansion thanks to dark energy, everything will get farther and farther apart. The space between galaxies will increase, stars will eventually die, and the materials needed to form new stars will be too spread out that star formation just can't happen. Picture the universe as an endless winter, where everything is at its absolute coldest possible temperature, a frozen, lifeless void. That's one idea. The second way is the Big Rip. Imagine the universe expanding faster and faster, so fast that eventually it tears everything apart. Dark energy, or maybe even a stronger form of dark energy, called phantom energy, could increase the distance between everything, pulling galaxies, stars, and even atoms apart until nothing's left but shreds. All that remains will be fundamental particles floating alone in a destroyed universe. Pretty tragic. And then there's the Big Crunch. This idea says, what if the universe stops expanding and starts shrinking instead? Gravity could overpower dark energy, pulling everything back together in a cosmic collapse, kind of like a giant rubber band that stretches as it expands, but eventually snaps back. As the universe collapses, galaxies will collide and merge, temperatures will skyrocket, and all matter will be squeezed into an impossibly small volume. In the final stages, atoms will crush together, pressures will become infinitely intense, and the laws of physics as we know them might break down entirely. The Big Crunch might even give way to a new beginning, possibly leading to another Big Bang. And finally, there's vacuum decay. Now this one's a bit of a wild card. Imagine you could find the darkest, coldest, quietest place in the universe. No photons zipping around, so there's no light. No protons or electrons around, so there's no matter. You're pretty sure that except for you, there's nothing there. But wait, that's not true. Even the emptiness of space contains a certain minimum amount of energy, like a background hum, so steady and faint that even if you could hear it, you wouldn't notice it. That's called the vacuum energy state. And it's like the floor that the entire universe stands on. But what if even that goes away? Then there'd truly be nothing. And scientists think that could happen. Maybe gradually, maybe really, really fast. That one minute the universe will be here and the next, it'll be gone. But how exactly would this even happen? A type of energy field called the Higgs field that gives mass to particles in the universe. And scientists think it's possible, but unlikely, that the vacuum energy of the Higgs field could change. And this very change could produce a bubble of a true vacuum to form and grow at the speed of light, destroying everything in its path and leaving behind a fateful universe with no Higgs field, where atoms can't even hold together. So which theory is the most likely? Right now, the Big Freeze is the most supported. And observations suggest the universe will keep expanding, getting colder and darker until it reaches maximum entropy, a chaotic equilibrium where everything is as random and spread out as possible until an ultimate frozen silence. But don't worry, none of this will happen for at least a few trillion years. So if you plan to be around, maybe bring a sweater.